Okay, before getting into new topic, let us try solve one problem statement. Okay, so we have solved this. Did we solve this? I have asked you to try it out. Did it work out? Yes. Okay. Okay. Shall I try this now? Right. So the basic idea over here is if factor. Okay, if you try to solve the problem for 13195, it will work for this also, because logically we are doing the same thing. Okay. Now, if you try to look into this, we have three problems in this. One is factors. The second one is the largest factor. The third one is if that factor is prime or not. Okay. So now, if I want to find largest even number from 1 to 100, will I start from 100 or will I start from 1? What is the largest factor of 100? If I basically try to tell you, should I start from 1 or should I start from 100? If I start from 1, whatever I have found last is my largest. Do you agree with me on this? If I start from 100, whatever I find first is largest. So what is easier to write? ఏదైతే ఫస్ట్ దొరికిందో అదే బెటర్ కదా. Yes. So whenever you are basically trying to do anything, for example, if I try to tell what is the largest factor, then since they are asking largest, rather than writing the loop to go till end, whatever I find first, if that is the case, then I will do it. If I ask what is the smallest factor, I will start from 1. Okay. Did you understand this point? Yes. Okay. Now let us try this. Project Euler problem 3. So first let me give the link. Okay. Since they have asked for largest factor, okay, or largest prime factor, okay, iterating from higher to lower, okay, is sensible. Why? Because whatever we find first will be the stuff. So what we'll try to do is we'll try to break this problem into first is 2 parts. Since we know the ideally we should print factors, so what I am trying to find the largest factor, and then if factor is prime or not. Are we clear on this, sir? Yeah. Right. So let us try to speak about Flora. Okay. So hello Flora. Okay. Let me. I think remember is a stage which we have crossed, right? 13195. So number is equals to 13195. And let me quickly open Python REPL. Okay. So largest factor. Let us assume my number is 100. So then if I try to do n by 2 or n by 2, so then what is it I'll get? 50. So if I want 110, okay, so then n by 2, what is that we are getting? Oh, n is equals to 110. N by 55. I'll start from half of the stuff. Why I'm starting from half? Because there will be no factor which is greater than half of the number. So I can avoid those many loops. Okay. So for example, if I try to take 9, so if I try to tell n is equals to 9, okay, n by 2, it will give me 4. And we know that the factor of 9 is not 4, it is 3. So factor is always less than or equals to half of it. Okay. So what I'll try to do is, let me calculate max. Max is equals to number by, okay. Now let me start index. Index is equals to max because I'm starting from reverse. Okay. So here, can I use while now? Because we understand while. Let us assume Flora also have learned while. While index is greater than or equals to 2. అంటే half of the number నుండి 2 వరకు. Now 6.1. If index is factor, that is index is factor and is prime, okay, then 6.1.1 print or say prime, and 6.1.2 then exit out of this loop. For this, yesterday we have learned that there is something called as break. But if that is not the case, then index minus equals to 1, or index is equals to index minus 1. First I'll try to start. If I take 100, I'll start from 50, 49, 48. So I'll go till that point. Am I clear on this, sir? Yes. Okay. So prime part we will try to solve. First let us try to solve the largest factor. Then how to do the prime I'll try to quickly showcase. Okay. So let me go over here, CD. Any problem with whatever I've written over there, sir? నేను రాసింది ఎవరికన్నా అర్థం అవ్వలేదా? ప్రాబ్లం ఏమైనా ఉందా? Okay. So whatever I find first is the largest prime factor. Okay. So let me try to write this as a program. Okay. Right. So let me try to write Euler 3.py. Okay. As I said, let us follow best practice from day one. This program demonstrates the okay solution of project Euler problem 3. Okay. So what are the things which will be used? Okay. Till now we don't know for and all other stuff. We will be using while and if and variables. So this is what we know. Probably I can write this program better after learning few more concepts of Python. But solving problem is the same thing. Okay. Right, sir. So now let me basically try to tell number is equals to 13195. Gopi battery this one. Okay. Fine. Are we clear on this, sir? So remember number as this. Now I will try to tell that max is equals to number. I have to do integer division. Okay, index is equals to max, while index is greater than or equals to 2. If number percentage index is equals to 0, then print largest factor is, okay, index. Ideally, what is that we need to do? Since we don't know how to do that, I'm just trying to write. We need to check if the number is prime or not. Okay, right. But if that is not the case, then index minus equals to 1. And when this is found, what I need to do is I need to break, because I have not written this. Okay. Now, yeah, I think there is no need for me to use this term called as max. I can directly write index is equals to, okay. Right. Let us try to see what is the problem here. Okay. So number is trying to look like a constant. It is trying to tell that you need to use upper snake case. Okay, fine. Number. But when you try to do something like this, you have to change the other things also. Okay. For that, let me try to right click. And are you seeing there is something called as rename symbol? And let me rename the symbol as number. When I do this, it will not only change here, it will change the other usages also. Did you understood what I've did? Let me show you this again. So it is trying to tell that number should be in. So I'll be trying to write. If I try to change over here directly number, then I have to go over here and then change this and then change this. But if you are good with editors, what you can do is right click and are seeing rename symbol. Rename symbol. Now you change it to the capital case called as number. Did it got change the other areas also? Okay. Now let us try to look into what it is. Index doesn't conform to capital case. So we are reducing index. Okay. Finally, we have to leave one space. That is fine. Okay. Index also capital case. Index is not a constant. Okay. I'm not sure why it has identified it as a constant. Okay. Fine. Let us leave it, because this is also software. There will be some failures. So constant is a value that doesn't change. Okay. Or the other thing which I can do right now is, there is an easier way to solve this. Okay. So rather than asking something like this, let me try to tell that int input of enter the number. Solved? Because now I am trying to dynamically take the input, it stopped complaining. Okay. And after 18, you should have 1. Okay, you can do all of this and right click, and then you can do format document. Okay, ఇక్కడ దీని ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటో చూద్దాం. We need to check. Okay, to do kabatti it is showing this. That is something which we want also, because that is something which we need to work on. Let it show it. Are we clear on this? Yeah. Okay. So shall we try to see whether it finds or not? Okay, if I give 10, it should give me 5 is the largest factor, because I have not checked whether it is prime or not yet. Okay, so first let me try to run this program directly here. Python, what is it? Euler3.py. Enter the number 10. Are we getting largest factor? I have not found the largest prime factor yet. I have found only largest factor. Now let me try to give 99. Largest factor is. So this is working. Now there is only one problem yet to be solved. What is that? Whether it is index is prime or not. Okay. At this moment, don't worry about what I am trying to do. We will basically try to look into it. So what is this? Index. I have to check if the index is prime or not. Okay. Now let us go back to the Flora's stuff. Now index is equals to let us assume 7. I want to check if this is prime or not. How will I do that? We have done the same thing by calling ekkadaithe index undo dani number annamma, but we have done the same thing. So here we have said that is prime is equals to true, and then let us try to call it as counter now, because we have something called as index. Counter is equals to 2, while counter is less than index, or I can do this also, index by 2 also, because you'll never find a factor which is greater than 50% of it. And now over here I'll try to write if index percentage counter is equals to 0, and if it is divisible, then I am trying to basically tell that is underscore prime is equals to false, and then directly break. ఆ తర్వాత ఇంకేం చెక్ చేయొద్దు, ప్రైమ్ కాదు ఇంకా, అంతేనా? And if that is not the case, I have to increase the index. So sorry, increase the counter. So counter plus equals to 1. So it will try to check with 2. Okay, it is not divisible by 2. Then 3. Then 4. If you try to calculate, okay, n is equals to 7. N / 2. It will go till 3. Okay, right. Now this code I am trying to write over here. Is that fine? But this is not a good way. Okay, once we learn functions, we will be handling it better. Okay, I'll try to show you both the versions, but for now, yeah, break should be here. Okay, ఇప్పుడు నేను తీసేస్తున్నా. Okay, what is that we need to do? We need to check if index is prime or not. Do you agree with me on this, sir? So for that, what is that I am trying to tell? I am trying to create something called as counter. So counter will start from 2, and then I'm by default I'm assuming that, because my conditions will try to check if it is not prime. So I'm trying to tell that is prime is equals to true. So inside the while I'm trying to write one more while now. While counter is less than or equals to index by 2. Okay, if index percentage counter is equals to 0, that means that is index divisible by, okay, is it a factor? Now I am trying to tell that is prime equals to false, and then there is no point, break. Okay, అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, ఈ లూప్ లోని బయటకు వచ్చేది. We will try this, don't worry about it. We'll try to do with a small number. Okay, now I will be basically checking if is prime. Okay, right, sorry, if not is prime, then break. Otherwise, increment your counter. Okay, right. So fine. Oh, okay, ఇది ఇక్కడ రాయకూడదు, ఇక్కడ రాయాలి. Yeah, okay. So I know that it is sounding a kind of confusing. Okay, but that's okay. All right, so shall we get started? Yeah, so what we'll try to do is let me try to take 14 as a number, and I want to find out a largest prime factor. Largest prime factor of 14 is what? 7. Okay, right. So, or if you want, I can take 35 also, but 14 అవుతుంది, డైరెక్ట్ గా మనకి రెండు వర్కౌట్ అవుతాయి. So let me try to put a breakpoint over here, debug this program. In the meantime, kindly open the laptops also, because you will also be doing the debugging of it. Okay, I'll share this code. Yeah, and then we'll make small changes out of this. Yeah, రైట్ సార్. ఫస్ట్ ఫోకస్ అంటే ఆ పనులు ఆపేసి ల్యాప్టాప్లు తీస్తాం కాదు, ఫస్ట్ దీని మీద ఫోకస్ చేద్దాం. నీ పని చేద్దాం లేదు చూద్దాం ఫస్ట్. ఓకే, సో నెంబర్ ఇస్ దిస్, it is asking for input and I have given 14 as a input, and we all know that largest prime factor of 14 is, okay, good. So index is equals to number by 2. So what is that we have in index? 7. So index, while index is greater than or equals to 2. Now we are checking, is 14 divisible by 7? The answer is yes, 14 is divisible by 7. Okay, so largest factor as of now is 7. Now if I basically try to find out, okay, what is the counter value now? 2, right? And then are you saying it will find out? Oh, right, there is something which I messed up. Okay, fine, let me try to restart. ఈ లెక్కలో బొక్క ఉంది ఒకటి. If index percentage, okay, right, let me try to debug the code. Okay, fine, I've given the input and my input is 14. So first it is checking whether 7 is factor or not. Yeah, 7 is a factor. Now we are checking if the 7 is prime or not. So we start from 2. Is prime equal to true? What is the counter value now? 2. So 7 when divided by 2 will be equivalent to 0. Okay, 1 minute. Oh, ఇక్కడ తప్పేంటి సార్? This has gone into infinite loop. Why? ఈ counter, is it part of while loop or is it not part of while loop? If it is part of while loop, it should start here, right? Yeah, right. Okay, మళ్ళీ సిగ్గే ఉంది, ఫస్ట్ నుండి మొదలెడదాం. Right, so 14. Now okay, we have found out 7 is a largest factor. Now counter is equals to 2. So counter has a value 2. If index percentage counter, that is 7%, it's not equal. Now it is trying with 3. Then okay, right. So then index becomes -1. But actually what is that we should do? If it is a prime number, we should stop executing the program. But what is it I have done? I have done it reverse, in a reverse order. So what is the fix for this now? If E is prime, print largest prime factor is, okay, and what is the largest prime factor now? Index. Okay, now shall we try? So this time let us try to see if it works out or not directly by executing the program. So what is it? Python Euler3.py. So I'll give 14. I should get largest factor is 7, but it is not stopping there, it is continuing. Why? Because if it is prime, it is not coming out. Why it is not coming out?
అర్థం కాలేదు, రావట్లేదా?
Because of
ముసలోడు నేను
break,
ఆయనతో
because you should
మాట్లాడితే
stop the execution of it.
వానికి పోయి చెప్పు, అడగండి నువ్వు వాడు నిలబడుకో కానస్తాడు
14.
వాటర్ రాలేదని చెప్పు.
Largest factor is 7 and largest prime factor is 7. Okay, now let me try to remove this word called as largest, because let us try to print all the factors and print the prime factors. Okay, right. So now let me try to run this program for whatever problem which they have given. Project, this 13195. So what is it trying to tell? Largest prime factor is, these are all factors, but the prime factor is 29. అదేనట్టు చెప్పింది. Yeah. Now I have to find out what is the largest factor for this number. This will take approximately 20 minutes to run. Okay, it will take large because this is a very largest number. It has to check everything. Okay, so let us keep it running. ఈ నెంబర్ ఏంటి కాపీ చేసి ఎత్తలేదు. ఇక్కడ ఉందిగా, రైట్, ఫైన్ దెన్. సో now let me try to run this program and give this as an input. If you try to see, it is continuously basically trying to search. ఇప్పటివరకు దీనికి ఫ్యాక్టర్ దొరకలా. ఓకే, రైట్, దిస్ విల్ టేక్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్ సార్. ఓకే, సో బట్ జస్ట్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్ ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ బతికుందా చచ్చిపోయిందా అని తెలుసుకోవడానికి వాట్ ఐల్ ట్రై టు డూ ఇస్, let us try to add some statements. Okay, I will stop printing factors. What I'll do is print. Okay, so right now let me just print number so that we'll try to tell what is your current index. Okay, now let me try to, that's it, that's more than enough. Malli, oh god, 1 minute sir, I have to copy this number again. Okay, are you seeing it is checking? Is the program running or not? Yes. So it is checking for all of them and none of them are factors. Okay, now over here, to make this program work better, what I'll try to do is I'll try to find out print found factor. Okay, right, so we have found some factor and now we will try to check for whether it is prime or not. Okay, now let me try to execute this number for 13195. So this will be straightforward. So I think it has found the factor, it has found the factor. If you try to look into it, it will find the factors and then it will try to check. Because it is a smaller number, calculation has happened quickly. But this time we are trying to do it for a little bit of larger number. So what I'll do is, let me exit out of it. And let me try to execute Python euler3.py. And then this is a number. Okay, let our class continue. It will try to take some time because this is the largest problem. It has to solve a lot of things. Okay, right, but eventually by the time we finish class we should find an answer. Okay, right, are we clear on this? Okay, right, fine then. So what I'll try to do is I want you to debug this program for 21. 21 input ichi debug cheyandi, and the largest prime factor of 21 is again 7. Okay, try to see how this program works. I am giving you 5 to 10 minutes of time. So where will you find this program? That is what I'll be trying to do. I need help from the people who are online. Everyone has access to Telegram? Yes, Telegram lo andaru enroll ayyara? Inka avanollu entamandi? Try to get enrolled. ఇవాళ శుక్రవారం మంచి రోజే, నిన్నటి అంత మంచి కాకపోయినా పర్లేదు. Okay, right, kindly ensure that everyone has an access to Telegram because there I'll be trying to post about certain information. So now what is this? euler3.py, and let me paste this program and let me try to create a public gist. Sir, I have shared this to the people on the web, sir. Kindly post it on Telegram. Okay, Other people, if you want, what you can do is you can type this URL. ఇక్కడ వరకు type చేసినా సరిపోతుంది. this.github.com/Sheikh Khaja Ibrahim. If you type till this point, you will try to see a lot of problems, but in this you have to look at this. So go to this euler3.py. Okay, go to raw. You will try to see this. Copy this code in your Visual Studio Code. Debug that for 21. Debug that for 21, and you should find 7 as the largest prime factor. Okay, so debugging is very important skill, because in reality in your organization you will not be starting and writing all of the code on your own. There will be a lot of code that is written. You will be asked to fix it. Okay, so did you got where to get it? this.github.com/Sheikh Khaja Ibrahim. If you type this is the first problem which I am asking you to debug. And while you are debugging, you will be asked for input, and the input which you will be giving is 21. And then we all know that if 21 is a number, largest factor of 21 is again 7. Okay, and then that is a prime number. Okay, and if you want to copy this program, right, just open this. You will be trying to see this raw button. Click on this raw and then copy this and paste it in any editor. So for example, I can paste in any editor. Okay, so don't directly copy from this view, because you might have some difficulties. Did you all got the program? Yes. Can we debug? People on the web, shall we debug or shall I continue with the class? నీ పనులు ఏముందంటే ఎప్పుడన్నా చేసుకోవచ్చు, నేర్చుకోవటం. సిలబస్ కంప్లీట్ చేయడం ఇంపార్టెంట్ కదా మనకి. Okay, I'll be waiting for exactly 5 minutes. I want you to debug, because I've asked you the simplest problem, 21. So if you try to take 21, first thing is 21 divided by 2. It will start from 10. 10 is not a factor of 21. 9. After that 8. After that 7. And now once the factor is found, it will be checking whether it is prime or not. తెలిసిందా తెలియలేదా? ఓటు ఎత్తానికి ఫస్ట్ టైం వస్తారు చూసారా, బాక్సుల్లో ఎక్కడ నొక్కాలో తెలియదు, అలా చూస్తున్నారు మీరు నాకేసి. ట్రై టు డీబగ్ ద కోడ్ సార్. పీపుల్ ఆన్ ద వెబ్, ఆర్ వి డూయింగ్ ఇట్? అంటే ఎస్ కూడా కొట్టలేనంతగా మీరు డీబగ్ చేస్తే నా అంత సంతోషపడేవాడు ఎవడో ఉండవు. రైట్,
వేసిందా? నువ్వు చెప్పినావా ముందే వేసి చెప్పినావా?
Is debugging helping you to understand programs? Okay. So any program thrown at you, you need to understand the flow. And the easiest way of doing that is debugging. Okay. Right. Fine, sir. So this is the first version of the program. Okay. First, let me commit this and share it. Added. Okay. I'll try to give this as a reference in the notes. Okay. Right. Did you understood what this program is doing? Yeah. So if I want to make it little bit more efficient, ideally going down the line, I'll be trying to write something like define is the number prime or not. This is the ideal way of writing stuff. I have created some reusable block. This function will check if the number is prime or not. Okay. Now arguments number returns. What will this function returns? True if prime, false otherwise. Okay. Now over here, I will basically try to check index is equals to 2 while index is less than or equals to number. Okay. Now is underscore prime is equals to true if number percentage index is equals to 0, return okay, right. And probably I'll be trying to tell index, I need to increment index, right? Index plus equals to 1, return is underscore prime. Okay, what is the problem over here? Okay, it is trying to tell that index is something which is present in the outer stuff. That is fine. Is prime is also present from the outer scope. That those are two problems because of the way we are writing coding now. That is, those are not serious issues at this moment. Okay, right. So are we clear on this? Now what is it I'll try to do? I'll not write all of this nonsense. Okay, I found the factor and then I'll try to check that if is underscore prime of index. So then print of index, or let me write it. This is a futuristic stuff. I can do this. Largest prime factor is index, and then Ivana. So here what is it done? I have written a reusable function. We will be learning how to do this. I'm just trying to show what would happen going down the line. Okay. Now define factors. Okay. Of number. I'm trying to show this is what we will be learning from now onwards. We will be trying to write the code which would look like this. Okay, this function will return all the factors. Okay, number returns list of factors. Okay, now okay, factor list is equals to this. Okay, right? సో యా వైలే వాడుతున్నాము మనం. నేను ఫర్కి వెళ్ళిపోతానులేండి, నా వల్ల అవదు. వద్దు. I'll try to show you the whole of the stuff. Let me try to write a moderately decent Python program. Then I'll try to show you what people in Python basically do. Okay. I am trying to solve the same problem, but let me try to show you different flavors of it so that we'll come to know what is the extent to which we need to learn. Okay, I'll try to start from index is equals to 2. Okay, and now while index is less than or equals to number divided by 2. If number percentage index, that is if it is a factor, then I am trying to tell that factors list dot append of index. Now index plus equals to 1, return factors list. Are you clear on this? The second part of the program is done. Okay, now there is no need for me to do all of this. I take an input and then I'll try to get, okay, possible factors is equals to factors of number. Okay, and then what is the next thing which I need to do? I need to find the largest factor. Okay, right. Reversed factors is equals to possible factors of colon -1. Okay, right. For let me try to use number is already present. For index and reversed factor, if E is prime of index, then print largest prime factor is index, and then break. If that is not the case, you need not do anything, because in fire that there is nothing that is different. Okay, అసలు ఇది పని చేద్దాం లేదు చూద్దాం. Terminal Python, let me exit. Now let me try to write Python Euler3.py 13195. Did I got 29? So I've done the same thing, but actually here what is different is the way, or probably my knowledge of Python has increased. My knowledge of Python has increased. అంతే, అంతకుమించి ఏమీ లేదు. సో ఆర్ వి క్లియర్ ఆన్ దిస్? ఇక్కడతో అయిపోలా, దీన్ని ఇంకా సింప్లిఫై చేయొచ్చు. సో ఇన్ Python there is an interesting concept which is called as list comprehension. Okay, so now what is it I've done for factors? ఇంత చేశాను కదా నేను. Yeah, ఎంత ఏం అవసరం. Right. The only thing which I need to do is factor list is equals to, okay, let me write something like x, okay, for x in range of 2 to number by 2. Okay, and now for this, if number when divided by x gives me 0, return factors list. అసలు ఇది కూడా చేయకూడదు అనుకుంటే డైరెక్ట్గా ఇక్కడ రిటర్న్. దట్స్ ఇట్. The whole of that code whatever you have written can be renamed with or redone with one line. Okay, so ఇది ఉంది కదా, దీన్ని సిగ్గు లేకుండా కాపీ చేసి ఇది ఇంకా చేస్తాను ఉంది దాని పని కానివ్వండి. రైట్, సో let me type Python and let me paste this program and let me try to find factors of, okay, 10. Okay, so factors of 10, why it didn't find 2? Oh, I've written for, right? Yeah, I should be using this. Okay, all right, so now factors of 10, are you getting 2 comma 5? Now I'll try to write factors of 1 3 1 9 5. Am I getting all the factors? So how many lines of code did I write? Effectively only one line. This is called as Pythonic coding. Okay, right? ఇందులో ఏమీ లేదు, మనం రాసిందే, కాకపోతే that is a shorthand form. That is a shorthand form. And when you try to basically look into lot of Python codes, you will see people doing that, and this is not difficult. Okay, because right now this expression is looking like a cryptic expression. Once we understand what it means, it is straightforward. Okay, now in the same way, right, now you have basically trying to do this, right? Let me try to use this. What is this? Prime number, right? Okay, let me copy this. Let me paste. Let me just call this function is prime of 13. Am I getting true? Yeah, fine then. Now factor list is equals to factors of 1 3 1 9 5. Now if you try to print FL, you are getting all of this. Okay, now prime underscore factors is equals to x for x in FL if is underscore prime of x. Now let me try to print prime factors. Any prime factors vachinaya? Now largest prime factor, if I want, I can, all I need to do is prime underscore factors of మీకు డేటా సైన్స్లో అట్లా ఈ నేర్చుకుంటారు ఎక్కువ. దే టేక్ ఇట్ టు ద నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్ బై బేసికలీ గోయింగ్ విత్ numpy, pandas and all that stuff. But the whole point is whatever I have written over here is exactly what you have debugged. Right now whatever I have shown is the shorter versions of it. Okay, so do you want to learn this kind of stuff? Yes, But for learning this kind of stuff, we need to understand little bit more about some other data types or data structures. Okay, so that is where we will start our discussion on. Okay. Data types, continue. And in this, let's discuss about lists, tuples, sets, and dictionaries. Okay, so this is something where we will basically try to look into it. And if you remember Python data types, I think we have given program is stuff. Where is program? Yeah. If you try to look into the data types, okay, we have looked at numeric. We basically know what string is. We know Boolean, but right now we are focusing on other things. So I'll start with something which is called as sequence. So then I'll go with mapping. Then I'll go with set. This is what I'm trying to basically do. Okay. The first data type is list. Okay. Now again, Python list. Okay. Refer here for samples. So first of all, what is a list? Till this moment, whatever data types which you have spoken about, we were trying to store one value in it. Now, if I want to store multiple values, then I would need a list. Okay. So if you try to look into the list is an ordered collection. Okay. Of any type. So it is not necessary that all the items in the list have to be integer. All the items in the list have to be string. It can be of any types. So for that, what we will try to do is, okay, fine. Let me do this stuff. Okay. This I'm not adding in the notes because that is what we want to get into, but that we will try getting into by playing with notebooks. Okay, right. So let me try to create a notebook which is called as list.ipy and why list. Let me do everything inside this. ఇవాళంతా ఇదే వాడదాం ఏమైంది పెద్దదైతే నష్టం ఏమైనా ఉందా if the Jupyter node you have to scroll, that's it. Okay, so let me rename this and then let me try to call it as sequences, at least list, tuples and range. These three things I'll try to speak over here. Okay, now markdown list. Now let me try to add a code view. The first thing which we will try to do in a list is generally whenever you see square brackets in Python, we are speaking lists. So for example, let me try to write x is equals to square bracket of 1 comma test comma true. If you try to see, I've used all the three types. One is integer. Whenever you see anything in quotes, it is a string, and true is a Boolean. So basically Python allows you to add a list of different data types. Okay, and then let me try to print type of x. Are you getting it as list? Yeah, right. So list is an ordered collection. Ordered collection means order will be retained. Ordered collection అంటే మనం ఏ ఆర్డర్ లో అయితే క్రియేట్ చేసామో ఆర్డర్ లోనే యాక్సెస్ చేయగలం. ఓకే, it is an ordered collection with index starting from 0. Right. So what do I mean by that? So what the meaning of it is, when I try to print x of 0, I'll be getting the first item. So totally there are 3 items. Index starts from 0. That means this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So now if I try to print x of 0, I'll get this. If I try to add x of 1, I'll get text. If I try to write x of 2, oh, x of 2, then I'll get the last item. Am I clear on this, sir? Now, the best part of Python lists are, okay, for example, I try to create a list where I'll try to write the numbers from, okay, let me try to basically do this. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, and 700. Okay, now if I have to find out, okay, I want to print 700, what should I do? X of 0, x of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'll be printing x of 6. Then I get 700. The best part about Python is you can do x of minus 1. Minus 1 basically means last item. So what is this? Last item in the list. Unda? Right. So second item. Okay, if I want to print the second item, what is that you will be trying to do? X of 1. Okay. Now, second item from last item in the reverse order. So just try to put x of minus 2. Does it make sense, sir? Yes. Okay. So this is what basically list does. Okay. Now, whenever we are working with list, so if I try to print x, what is it I'll get? Okay. Now let us assume that I want a child list from this. I want a y. అంటే ఈ లిస్ట్ నుండి ఇంకో లిస్ట్ కావాలి. I need one more list from this list where I want values from first item till this is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I need items from 2 to 4. So all you need to do is, this is something which we call as slicing. So what is the first item which you need? This one. Till what? Okay. So this is 1 and it will go till index 4. But fourth item will not be present. If you want 500 also, you have to basically. Am I clear on this, sir? Okay. Now, what I want to do is, I want to print 100, 300, 500, and 700. I want a list of items which are alternative items. So, now again, slicing. The way slicing works is, it will have something called as start value and end value, and then step. Step means how much I should increment. Okay. So now I'll be trying to write x of 0. Okay. Till whatever is the last item. So if you don't write anything, it will take default as a last item. So, but if you want to count also 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 0 to 6. And then normally the default value will be 1. If you try to print this, what is that you are getting? All items. So whenever you are trying to write x of, what will it will take? It will take this as a default value. Now, let me take x of 0, colon 6, and I want to give step of 2. So now it has print 100, 300, and 500. Now let me try to write x of 1 colon 6 colon 2. So if we try to write it as 200, 400, 600. Okay. Now there is no need for you to give value if you are trying to refer to the max value. Don't give anything. Then also it will behave as 6. Our list of 6 items on the second column will become 6. You will get the same result. Okay. Now, if you have seen some of the stuff which I have done over here, I think I have. Okay. So నేను ఎక్కడ ఏం చేశానంటే ప్రైమ్ ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్కడో చేశాను ఇది రివర్స్ అని ఎక్కడో రాశాను. I don't remember where I have done that. But fine, whatever it is. Now do we understand what is this -1? So what is -1? Last item. -2, last but 1. Yeah, that is how Python's lists work out. Okay. Now let me try to print everything in a reverse order. Okay. So x start from 0, go till 6, but don't go in a straight order. Go with -1. ఇప్పుడు ఏమైంది? So it starts from 700 and goes till, and this is there. Don't even try remembering this. Use this. Okay. So generally, I'm not sure how many of you remember AWS or Azure CLI. Okay. So in AWS and Azure CLI, sometime going along, I'm not sure how many of you learned this, but if I try to do AZ group list, this is all inspired from Python itself. Okay. If you try to see, I have how many resource groups, sir? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 6. So totally I have 6 resource groups. Okay. So AZ group list hyphen query. So am I getting all the names? Yes. Okay. 0 ante first item, -1 ante last item. Find in the first case I was printing the first item's name, and in the last case I was printing the last items. So there I can use slicing also. So I can possibly try to tell all of this works because of the way Python works. We can do this in AWS also. Okay. The point over here is whatever we are trying to learn, these fundamentals we will try to get it at multiple places. Are you seeing one of the application of it? Yes. Okay. If you have not learned this, you will be learning this very soon. Okay. Right. So there will be many applications which will be around that. Okay. So are we clear on this? Yeah. So for example, you give me any list, and if you want me to reverse the list in other languages, we have to do a lot of stuff. But over here all you need to do is colon -1. Yes. Okay. Fine. Now if you try to see, he is trying to tell this is little bit more traditional. So here he has given ages, and he wants you to print all the ages. Now list items of different types. Manam maadukundedi. Okay. Here he is giving a list with 3 items. First one is string, number, and again string. Okay, you can create lists by basically trying to use list of x also, or the easiest way which you can access is just give a square brackets. What is it? This is ordered collection. I'll try to speak about what mutable is at a later point of time for everything in Python. Okay, and then in the list you can have duplicate items. So I can try to write 100 times in the list. Okay. So now he's trying to tell how the indexes work out. Mana nechukundi ide ippudu meer chuste. Right? Now basically negative indexing. So if this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2, this becomes -2, -1. This becomes -2, and this becomes -3. Okay. So slicing a list in Python. ఇదేగా మనం చేసింది. So I want, what is he trying to tell? He's trying to tell us start from 2 and print till 5. This is 0. This is 1. And this is 2. And it will basically print till here. Okay. Right. Now adding items to the list. X of -1 colon what will be the output? Try it, sir. అన్ని నేను చేస్తే మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు? ఓకే. సో వాట్ ఇస్ ద సింటాక్స్ ఓవర్ హియర్? నాకే బద్ధకం అంటే నాకు పని చేస్తాను, నాకెందుకు 10 మంది పని చేస్తుంటారు, మీరు నాకు పనులు చెప్పండి. రైట్. సో ఐ హ్యావ్ లిస్ట్ ఎక్స్ ఆఫ్ 1 2 3 4 and 5. What is the syntax which I have said? You can use x of first value which you pass is index. After colon, whatever value which you are passing is ending point. And after that you have step. So for example, if I try to tell x of -1, I am not giving any of the things. I want only one item, that is last item. But if I try to give x of colon, that means that I am going to do slicing. And whenever I am doing slicing, I need to deal with 2 colons. The first one is, where do you want me to start? If I don't give, it will be the first item. Second item is, where do you want me to stop? If you don't give, it is the last item. The third one is index. If you don't give, it is 1. Now over here I have given -1. That means that I want to print in a reverse order. Now someone has asked me to find out what will this print. Okay, that doesn't make sense putting colons. Use colons when you want to increment. Okay, use colons when you want to make increments, because there are default values which are there for it. So here what you are trying to tell is, even if you give 1 colon or if you don't give, this is same, because rest of the things are empty. You are not doing any slicing. Okay, right. Are we clear on this? Okay, right. Now if I want to add items in the list, okay, so let us go with appending items. So to append items, basically there are 2 things which you can do. You can use a method called as append, or what you can do is you can be using insert. Append will go at the last. Append ante emoddi last ki veltundi. So let us try to do this. Okay, so appending items, let me try to create colors is equals to black. So right now I have list with only one item, which is called as colors is black. Now what I am trying to do is colors dot append, and in this I am trying to pass white. And now I'll try to ask it to execute or print colors. Did we got white? Yes. Now colors dot append, let us assume I try to give blue. Okay, fine. Colors. Are we clear on this, sir? Yeah. Now what I'll try to do is colors dot insert. So where do you want to insert? I want to insert at index 1. So what is the color which you want to insert? I want to insert red. And after that I want to print colors. You use print colors. Are you seeing the difference? Append goes at the last. Insert gives you an option to insert wherever you want into the collection. Okay, so just if you have done the inserting, okay, if you want to add items from other list, ఇది అవసరం లేదు. So whenever if you want to change some of the things, then I figured out that I don't, for example, red is not the color which I like, or blue is not the color which I like. I want it to be something like yellow. So I will try to tell that colors of, what is that, -1, or I can go with 3. And then here I am trying to change that to, what is that, yellow. And then let me print all the. Are you seeing blue has changed to yellow? To change a particular item, you can use that index operator and then assign the value of it. Remove an items from the list. Okay. For example, here, if I want to remove yellow now, so colors dot remove and pass the index. So what is the index over here? 4 values and 3 kada. And then after that, let me print colors. Okay. Oh, right. Colors dot remove, not item. It is, I need to print the value. Sorry. Yeah. Right. Are we clear on this? Okay. But these methods, you need not remember. Come to this documentation. Whenever you want to go with a list, all you need to do is just scroll it down. Just scroll it down. Okay. Right. And over the last statement, generally in Jupyter notebooks, ideally I should be writing this print of colors. Okay. But in the last line of your particular cell, if you just try to give a variable, it will print its value. That is how Jupyter notebooks behave. Okay. It is not a Python behavior, it is a Jupyter notebooks behavior. Okay. So ideal ga nenu ikkada rayalsindi enti print of colors. Okay. Malli em chesam. Okay. Deen baada endante yellow theme annam yellow ledani. Okay. Right. Are you clear on this, sir? So, or if you directly put the variable name also, it will print the value. So there is in Jupyter notebooks, generally you will not see people using print statements. You will be seeing this. Okay. Are we clear on this, sir? Yes. So do we understand what a list is? But we need to do something more in the list also, but that we will try to do after a small break. Let us go out for a break. And after that, we will basically try to understand. I have one list and I want to copy the values of that into the other list. How do you do that? And then I'll be introducing you to for loop. Okay. Because for loop, while loop, we have done it. While goes with an index. Then what is for? Okay. So how is for different in this stuff? Right. Right. So we can print without codes like black, red. Without codes or codes? I didn't understood your question, Chandrasekhar. I'll do one thing. At the end of the session, I'll try to open it up. If you have any questions, you can ask. That would be better. Okay, let us go out for a break, sir. Okay, but kindly debug, sir. చూస్తుంటే దీని అంత సుఖంగా ఏముండదు. రేపు పొద్దున్న చేయమంటే ఒకేసారి ఆ రోజు అంతా అయినా ఇప్పుడు అంతా మర్చిపోయినా అన్నట్టు ఉంటుంది. The only way to do that is debugging. Take any code. You need not know what that code is. Start debugging. Explore methods. Okay, right.
Bro.
ఓకే సార్. టెలిగ్రామ్ లో ఎవరో మల్టీ క్లౌడ్ క్లాసులు ఎప్పుడైనా అడిగారండి. అంటే ఇవన్నీ ఎప్పుడు కసరత్ ఒళ్ళు బోర్ కొట్టి అంతాక్షరి ప్రోగ్రామ్ లాగా ఉందేమో ఇది. రైట్. So the point is, for the people who are learning multi-cloud, you are supposed to write serverless code. You are supposed to write event-based. For example, whenever an event is raised, you are supposed to shut down EC2 machines, shut down Azure virtual machines. For that, you have to write Python code. అవి అప్పుడు ఎవరు రాస్తారు? సుద్రభుజులు చేయలేము. Right? So programming is inevitable. Yeah. Only for sales pitch people avoid coding, but right now without coding you will become obsolete. Okay, right? So this is also part of every course. Whatever course which I teach, Python is part of it, or actually programming is part of it. We are learning Python. You can apply same programming language. Okay, next Tuesday onwards we will be starting shell scripting, and you will find out that whatever we are learning over here, we are doing the same thing in shell scripting also. యా నెక్స్ట్ ట్యూస్డే నుండి రోజుకు ఒక అరగంట షెల్ స్క్రిప్ట్ మాట్లాడతాం మనం 10 to 10:30 somewhere around 10:15 to 10:45. Then you will realize whatever you have spoken with Flora, bash scripting is also same thing. Syntaxes change. Okay, so ఇదేమో పక్క కులాల వాళ్ళకి పెట్టిన మీటింగ్ కాదు, ఇది కుల సంఘం మీటింగ్, అంతకంటే కాదు, అందరికీ కావాల్సిన మీటింగ్ ఇది. రైట్? ఓకే, ఫైన్ సార్. Now let me basically try to speak about let us assume that I have a list. X is equals to 1, 2 and 3, and then I have a list of Y where I have 4, 5 and the point is, how can I bring items of one list into another? Okay, that is all of this stuff, adding list of items from other items. So all you need to do is just simply say x dot extend of y and then print x. Okay, so now I have combined x and y into one list which is called as. Okay, and these things you cannot remember. There is no way. Whenever you are working on the list, come to this page. Slowly you will get used to this. Okay, don't even try remembering these functions. Always, whenever, let us assume that you are working on a list, try to open any site, not only Programmis. You go to anything, you will find these examples. For example, there is where is real Python on the indro? Okay, fine. Poni ide anukundam. You will find all the methods over. Okay, are you seeing? Accessing list items, changing list items, adding list items, removing list items, loop list items, list comprehensions, sort, copy, join. Okay, what are the methods which are available and what are the exercises? Take any website of Python, you will be able to do the things. Okay, right. But let us not learn it for the sake of syntaxes. Okay, fine sir. Changing list item, removing list item, okay, fine. Now generally any sequence in Python, now I am trying to speak about a sequence called as list. Okay, so now if I try to call a function which is length len. Yeah, so just all you have to do is len of any sequence item. It will try to tell you what is the count of that. Okay, now in the same way, let me try to calculate, where is it, len of y. If you remember, in y we have 3 items. Okay, you take any sequence and pass that into len, you will basically get a length. Okay, right, I think that's more than enough. And if you try to look into the items, there are many items over here. Reversing function avasarama? Yeah, colon -1 does the same thing of what reverse does. Okay, clear will remove all the items from the list. If you want to find the index of certain item, you will do this. Dot count will try to tell you the count of items in the list. Okay, extend will add the items. Insert, remove, pop. Pop will basically remove item but at a particular index. Okay, so for example, now let me try to write x dot. Okay, first let me print x, and now let me try to tell x dot pop of, are you seeing it is trying to tell index, and let me tell that I want to remove the first item, and after that I want to print x. One in the, yeah, don't even try remembering them. Whenever you're working on a list, come to this page. Okay, that is the easier way, and as and when you try more programs, you will automatically remember them. But don't have a habit of by hatting. So adding items in the list and kallu muskin x dot extend. Don't do all of that nonsense. Right? Fine. Or else go to Perplexity. How to add two items, two lists. You will basically get it. But coming to this page will help you more than Perplexity. Yeah. Okay, sir. Now over here, what I want to do as part of this is I want to introduce you to the for loop in Python. Okay. Yeah. Let us use programmers. These guys are doing decent job. Somehow real Python is what I like. This is okay. For the basic syntax of for loop is for, you can give any item, any variable name. Okay. In any of the sequence data type or iterable data type is what we should be ideally calling that. And then here you would be trying to write your whatever your logic is. Okay, that's it. Now what would happen is, let us assume that I have a sequence of numbers. Okay, let me go over here. Where is this? Okay. So let me try to write x is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So a sequence of 7 numbers. So what I'll be trying to do is for item in x. So I will be trying to write print of, oh sorry, print of item. X ante anni kada. Okay, to make it more readable, colors is equals to white, black, and red. It can be sequence of anything. For I am trying to create a variable called as color in a list which is called as colors. So first time into this color, white variable will come, white value will come. Second time, black. Third time, red. So print of color. Let us try to debug this, because debugging will improve our understanding. I am debugging this, sir. Okay. So this locals is interesting. So for colors, and now if you try to print, I have print color in colors. Let us try to look into color variable. What is the value here? So it is printing color. That is, it will print white. Then it will go to the for loop. Now if you try to see what is the color, black. That is the second item. And now it has print this. Okay. So then it will become red, and then you will try to do this. If I have to do this in a while loop, ఇదే పని while loop లో చేయాలనుకోండి. Okay, then I'll be trying to write. Okay, మొత్తం రాద్దాం. Okay, right. Index is equals to 0, while index is less than length of colors, and then print colors of index. Oh, infinite loop. This is exactly what happens with index. Okay. So if it is a while loop, I have to start with the counter. I have to tell what is the max limit, and every time I have to increment it. ఈ గొడవంతా లేకుండా దీన్ని వాడచ్చు. Okay. So the for loop in Python, it is called as for each loop in other languages. Okay. So this is not for of C language. So for of C language, what is the for of C language? You will be trying to tell something which looks like this. For int I equal to 0, I less than or equals to or I less than n, I plus plus. Here, this is not for each. This is like a while. Okay. But for each is where you are trying to give a sequence of items, multiple items, and then asking it to iterate for every item which is present in that list or tuple or set or dictionary, whatever you call it. Am I clear on this, sir? Yes. Okay. So now let us try to look into examples. So anything difficult here? He has taken a list of 3 languages and is writing a simple for loop which will print all of them. Okay. Now here also he has done the same thing. He is basically trying to basically loop through a string. Okay, I'll come back to the string later point of time. Okay. Range I have not defined it yet, but are we clear on for? Yes. So what is the difference between for and while? While needs an index. While needs something to iterate the items. Whereas when we are speaking about for, we will be using for when we have something like dictionary or set or collection or something like that. Are we clear on this, sir? Yes. Okay. Now let me try to speak about range function. Okay. Right. So what is range function? For example, if I try to tell range of 1 to 5, and then if you try to print this value, okay. Now range basically generates a list of sequences. Okay. So for example, let me try to convert this range into a list. So what is it trying to tell? Range of 1 to 5 is equivalent to you trying to tell that I have a list where the values are from 1 to. Okay. Now list is something which I'm trying to do it over here because we understand lists. Okay. Let me try to write range of 0, 5 and 2. What is this? If you remember the same sequence, what is the start value? What is the end value? And what is the increment? So I'm trying to start from 0, go till 5, but don't use 1, use 2 as an increment. So that's the reason we got 0. 0 plus 2, 2. 2 plus 2, which gives me 4. The next value is 6, but 6 is less than 5, so it didn't print it. Okay. Right. Now if I have to write a loop, I'll be trying to write for index in range of 0 to let us assume if I want from 1 to 10, I need to write 1 to 11 and print of index. Okay. The project Euler problem will look little bit more convincing if I use this loop, because here I don't need to write index plus equal to 1 because it gives me a sequence of numbers. So range is a function which is used to generate these numerical sequences. Range is a number which is used to generate this sequences. Are we clear on this, sir? Yes. Okay. Now I can conveniently go to this Euler's problem, and rather than writing it, I can try to write something like this. For index in range of, we want to start from 2 till what? Number by 2. But here you need to use plus 1, because if you try to tell 2 to 5, it will print only from 2 to 4. ఇచ్చేస్తే అయిపోయింది. అప్పుడు ఈ ఇండెక్స్ ప్లస్ 1 ఈ దరిద్రం ఉండదు. ఓకే, రైట్, ఫైన్. So are we clear on this, sir? Yes. Okay, so quickly what I'll do is let us go through one of the problem and let us try to solve that using for loop, for and range functions. Okay, I am solving again the problem which we know. This workout out. This is something where we need a while loop, but let us try to look at what this is. Okay, if I list all the natural numbers below 10, so that means that he wants from 1 to 9, or yeah, 1 to 9 kada? Yes, or not 1 to 9, 2 to 9. Okay, so let me try to solve. Project Euler problem 1. So if I try to calculate all the 10, if the number is multiple of 3 or 5, what is the sum? Till 10 the value is 23. Let us try to find out for 23 itself. So I'll be trying to write for number in range of 2 to 10. If number percentage 3 is equals to 0, or number percentage 5 is equals to 0, then I need to hold a result. So that's the reason I am trying to put result is equals to 0, and then I'll try to tell that result plus equals to number, and then finally let me try to tell this is what it is. Oh, there is something wrong. Number kaadu kada, result kada, right? Now all of what is that I need to change? I need to change till 1000. So what is that I'll be trying to do for 2 to Aipola? We have done this in a while loop in the last session, where we have created an index equal to 2, index plus equals to 1. Adaridram ledhu ippudu. There is no need for you to specifically write an increment operator. Okay, right. Now let me try to find out the, I'll not go with the largest prime factor. Let me try to find the largest factor. So I'll be trying to tell that for, okay, number in range of, okay, whatever is your number. So let me try to tell that find the largest factor of number. So let me call this as index, and let me try to tell that number is equals to int of input of enter the number. So I'm trying to tell that I will start from number divided by 2. Okay, fine. I'll come till 1 or 2, and I am coming in a reverse order. So since I want largest factor, I am coming in a reverse order. Okay, so let us try to see if this works out or not. So let me try to write list of range of 5 comma 1 comma minus 1. Yes, so here I'll be trying to write for list of number by 2 comma 1 comma minus 1. If number percentage index is equals to 0, then print of index, and there is no need for you to continue in this loop. You can use the same break statement. So right, so if I try to write 21, what is the largest factor of 21? 7. Yeah, so now let me try to give something like 24 12 వచ్చేది డైరెక్ట్ గా 24 ఇచ్చేద్దాం. 12. Let me execute this program, and then let me try to give 100 12. These are all exact halves. Let me give 99. We'll get 33. So are we getting largest factor? Yes. But here it is cleaner than while, right? Yeah. Mana while చేసిన తప్పేం కాదు. There's nothing wrong of using while, but Python has a better alternative. So if you like while, you can still continue using while, but people generally, you would see a lot of people using for loop because of its simplicity and cleanliness in the code. Are we clear on this, sir? Okay. What is the problem where only while loop work can't use for? What is the problem? So where you don't have a finite sequence. Okay. So range ఎప్పుడు వాడతాం మనం? Yeah. So for example, if you try to look at this problem number 2, okay, do we know how many Fibonacci series will be below 100? ఎన్ని ఉంటాయి మనకి క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసే ముందు తెలుసా? No, we don't know. So in those cases, when you don't know the exact count of how many times you have to loop, then we will go for while. Okay. So for example, I want 100 Fibonacci sequences, but to calculate 100 Fibonacci sequences or all the Fibonacci sequences below 10,000, you do not know the exact number. You have to calculate and then find out. So before executing my loop, I don't know how many numbers do I need to basically do. In these cases, we'll go with while. Am I clear on this, Amar? Okay. So do we understand this? Okay. Now let me try to basically speak about one of the interesting characteristics, which is called as mutable and immutable types in Python, or immutable types. Okay. So can you basically go to Perplexity and then try to find out what is mutable and what is immutable? Yes, I want you to research this and then I'll try to speak about it. People on the web, are we doing it, sir? Yeah. You need to explain me that topic. So I'll give you 5 minutes time. అసలు మ్యూటబుల్ ఇమ్యూటబుల్ టైప్ అంటే ఏంటి, దాని అర్థం ఏంటి? Try to read and then I'll also explain that, then it will make sense.
ఎక్కడికి లేదు అక్కడ నాంపల్లి లేకపోతే లడ్డి కపూల్ దాటి
Okay, sir. So what is immutable and what is mutable? Okay. So we will be for the people who are learning DevOps and cloud, we will be using this term which is called as immutable infrastructure. And changes are not allowed. If you want changes, recreate. Okay. So this is exactly where Terraform comes into play. Yeah, because you are not allowed to make the changes by logging into machines and making changes. If you want changes, create a new template and redeploy everything. Okay, immutable means which you cannot change. So for example, okay, let me try to show you something interesting in Python. Okay, let me try to use Python. X is equals to 122.05. What is the type of it, sir? Float. So type of X, float. ID somehow internally represents some kind of memory location. So what is ID of X? Some number. Now what I've done is in X, I have assigned 122.12. Did I change the value? Yes. Now let me calculate ID of X. Is it using the same location or a different location? Why? Because float is a immutable type. It doesn't allow changes. It might look as if you are changing the value of X in the same memory location, but Python doesn't work that way. Okay. In Python, float, integers, strings, okay, and tuples, frozen sets, okay, and there was something else also, right? But there are many types which are immutable. That means they will not allow changes. There are some types which are immutable. So for example, if I try to tell colors, and then if I try to write, okay, let us assume B means black and W means white. Okay, if I try to write colors of one, that is equals to red. And now if I try to print colors, it will allow change. This is mutable. This is mutable because it is allowing changes. Okay. Now, if I try to do the same thing by writing colors is equals to, this is something which is called as tuple. Tuple is also exactly the list. There is no difference. But the only difference is tuple is immutable. So if I try to pass red, it will try to tell that I am not allowing it because tuple is not supposed to change. Am I clear on this, sir? So mutable types are which will allow you to change. Integer, float, and all of them might look mutable, but they're actually not. So మనం ఏమనుకుంటాం x is equals to 5. Okay, and then in the same x I am basically passing 10,000. So again I print x. You're getting 10. It looks as if it is mutable, but actually it is not. Why? You calculate ID of x, memory location of x, and memory location of this. They will be different. Am I clear on this, sir? Yeah. So now, right. Perplexity. What are mutable and immutable types in Python? ఇదే అడుగుంటారుగా మీరు కూడా, right? So what is the version of it? It basically means that mutable types will allow changes, whereas immutable, if you try to see, integer is immutable, string is immutable, tuples are immutable, frozen sets are immutable. There are basically you can't make changes inside that. Are we clear on this, sir? ఇది ఏమాత్రం సిగ్గు లేకుండా కాపీ చేసేస్తున్నాను, ఎందుకంటే నేను ఇక్కడ పెద్దగా చేసింది ఏమీ లేదు ఇందులో. ఓకే, రైట్. Now let me go to tuple. So what are tuples? They are exactly lists. What is the difference? List is mutable, so it will allow changes. Tuples are immutable. So whenever you are trying to go through a list, whenever you are iterating a list, and if you know that the values of list are not going to change, better use tuples. Better use tuples. So for example, I have basically tried to speak something like Telugu states. Okay. So in India, we have only 2 Telugu states as of now, and they are not going to change also. So for that, I might be using a tuple. Tuple starts with parentheses, whereas the list starts from square brackets. Okay. Rest of the things all are same. So for example, I can try to put Telugu states of 0. Telugu states of -1. మిగతా అన్ని పని చేస్తాయి. వాల్యూ చేంజింగ్ తప్ప ప్రతిదీ చేయొచ్చు. Which means that there will not be any insert functions here. There will not be delete functions over here. There will not be remove at functions over here. There will not be any pop functions over here. Okay. Then how can I make changes in the list? Try changes in the tuple. Either create a new tuple or assign tuple to the list. Assign tuple to the list. So for example, let us assume that I have written something like x is equals to tuple of 1. Okay. There is no way that once this code is executed, I can change anything. It is 1, 2, that's it. The only way for you to change is you can try to again assign s to 1, 2, 3. ఇది ఒకటే పద్ధతి మారుతూ. Because now you are replacing that whole tuple. Okay. But once you create a tuple inside that, you can't change. I can't make it 1, 2, 4. Okay. Because if I try to write x of -1 is equals to 4. That is the last item I want it to be 4. Are you getting an error? Yeah. And if you try to see what is it trying to tell? Tuple does not support. Okay. Tuple is also an ordered collection. What is it? Ordered collection. Ordered collection అంటే మీరు ఏ ఆర్డర్లో యాడ్ చేస్తే అలాగే ఉంటుంది. Tuple also can have duplicates. So you can try to put 100 times in a tuple. No problem. But the point is, once the tuple is created, you will not be able to make the changes. Clear on this, sir? So now, if you go with Python tuples, I'll just give this link, nothing more than this. Create a tuple. Okay, if you want to create a tuple, you can use tuple constructor also, or you can directly use parentheses. Ordered, immutable, and then allow duplicates. What was list? Ordered, mutable, and it are used to allow duplicates. So accessing through the indexes, doing slicing, you can do all of that. But the point is, you cannot modify. And you can use the same for loop because it is also a sequence. Okay. So this is tuples for you. I am not refer for. Okay. Now let us go with sets. Sets is also like list and tuples. List. Okay. But the basic idea is set is an unique collection. Okay. Of items. Okay. So for square bracket, what is that we have used? I mean, we have used square bracket for lists, parentheses for right. Good. Program is like that. For sets, we'll be using a curly brace. Moodu list le, moodu sequence le. So all the 3 are sequences. But the difference is list can allow duplicates. List allows you to change. Okay. List is ordered collection. When we basically try to speak about sets, let us try to see what sets will try to tell. So set, basically, even if you try to write duplicate items in the list, and then if you try to print it, you will only get unique items. You will only get unique items. Okay. So generally, whenever you want anything which is unique in nature, we will be going with sets. And then if you try to look at sets, sets are also mutable. That means that I can change the value. If you don't want, just like how we have list and tuple, there is a set and a frozen set. Frozen set is a set which is immutable. That means you can't make changes. Okay. Right. But student ID ఇచ్చాడు. Okay, voter ID ichadu. You can basically pass anything. You can create an empty set by passing empty curly braces. And then if you want to calculate duplicate items, if you want to remove, this is the easiest thing. So for example, if someone says I have a list of items and I want to remove all duplicates, okay, the most easiest way to do it is, let us do that as an example. Okay, sets. Okay, now the problem is remove duplicates from list. So I have written x is equals to 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 4 comma 5. ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. But I don't want all of that. I just want unique items. So I'll be trying to write so just pass that list into a set. So that is, I have converted list into set. The moment I have converted, what it has done, it has removed all the duplicates. Okay, are you clear on this, sir? And this is just not only for numbers. I can do the same exercise. Okay, x is equals to a comma b comma capital A comma capital Z comma capital A comma small a. Now let me try to pass set of x. But if you try to see, it is not maintaining the order. Whatever order you have passed, it is not maintaining. That's the reason it is called as unordered sequence of elements. It will alphabetically sort. దానికి ఒక సార్టింగ్ అల్గోరిథం ఉంటుంది. మీరు నెంబర్లు ఎలా పాస్ చేసుకున్నా అది సీక్వెన్షియల్ ఆర్డర్లో స్టోర్ చేస్తారు. ఓకే, so do we understand the difference between set, list and tuple? So when will I use set? When I am dealing with unique items. When I will deal with list, when I have collection of items where values might change down the line in the future, I can add items, I can remove items from it. When I will use tuple, when I am dealing with sequence of items or collection of items where changes are not allowed and there can be duplicates. There can be duplicates. So then we have something called as frozen sets. Okay, right. Python frozen sets. Okay, right. So what is the basic idea of frozen set? You can't make changes. Okay, so what is it trying to tell? Let me try to use the same example. Ovals is equals to AE IOU. Okay, AE IOU ఎందుకు సర్లేండి సావనం ఉండేది ఒకటి. Okay, so what you need to do is frozen set is this, and then let me try to write normal set. Normal set is equals to, okay, let me try to tell frozen underscore set. This is normal underscore set. Okay, sir. So I have taken a oval tuple and then I have converted that into sets. Now if you try to look into it, what I'll try to do is normal set dot add of ఏం యాడ్ చేద్దాం, y అన్నది ఏదో యాడ్ చేద్దాం, and then let me try to print normal set. Did y got added? Now let me try to do the same thing for frozen set. Frozen set dot add of y, and then let me try to print what is present in the frozen set. Frozen sets do not allow you to make any changes, and frozen set is an immutable unique set of items. Okay, so whenever you are dealing with multiple items, you have 4 options in Python. Okay, right. Let us quickly try to do it. Okay. Okay. So whenever you want to store sequence of items, or what do you call, whenever you want to deal with any collection. So, or to be very specific, I have to call it as single value collection. But what is single value connection, we'll understand in the next class. So collection, the options which I have in Python are, come on, yeah, we have something called as list, we have something called as tuple, we have something called as set, we have something called as frozen set. So what is list? List is basically something where we will be using square brackets. Okay, or for syntaxes I'm not worried. So list is collection of items. So when I say items, it can be of any type. So what is the next thing? Which are mutable. That means that you can make changes. And it is when I'm trying to speak about this, exactly same. But the only difference is it is immutable. Okay. Now here let me also try to write allows duplicates. Okay. Now here also it is collection of items. It is also mutable. But one thing is it is unordered. So whatever direction which your values have passed, it might not maintain the same order. It might change the order. Okay. And it does not allow duplicates. And when we are speaking about frozen set, they're exactly the same as said, but the only difference is it is immutable. Now you try to figure out whenever you have multiple items, A category change. So will the values can be changed? If it is changed, I'll take list. If they don't change, I'll try to take tuples. Okay. If values have to be unique, then I'll try to take set. Okay. When I'm trying to take a set, can the values change or do not change? If the values should not change, frozen set. If they can change, I'll take a set. Simple. Yes. Okay. People on the web, are we clear on this, sir? Are we clear on this? Sets and frozen sets. Right, sir. So I'm not writing too much of notes because I'm basically more focused on how to, whenever you have multiple values, how to deal with this. Okay. So for example, I'm trying to write a program. Okay. Where I have to go through all the files. Okay. Right. So then what do you think I should take? Files are multiple in nature. There is no difference. Okay. Can files change while you are executing this program? Your program execute file name Marva. So if you remember, we were running this program and I was continuously working. Okay. Right. This is right. Right. Fine, sir. The basic point over here is when you are trying to access the files, other users might create or delete files. The list is dynamic. So there can be additions or, yeah. And files are duplicate. Even though duplicate, I want to process the duplicate files. Then I'll be using a list. So for example, I want to list all the unique files in my system. Okay, then what will I do? I'll use a set. Okay, right? So this is how you make decisions. Okay, so what is your value, whether it is changing or not changing? Okay, whether it is a sequence, yeah, obviously it is a sequence. Now, but whenever you are trying to deal with sets, you can't use of 0, of 1, because it is no longer an ordered collection. It is no longer an ordered collection. You will get items. You will get an items. Are we clear on this, sir? Yes. Okay. So far in whatever we have learned, do we have any problems in understanding any of the topics so far? I have unmuted. Anyone on the web can go ahead, sir. ఏమీ లేవా ప్రాబ్లంలో? వచ్చేసినట్టేనా ప్రోగ్రామింగ్? రైట్. Okay. And one question which I want to ask is there any opinion change in terms of programming? Can we try it? Yes. Is it rocket science? Okay. Right. See, first thing is, this is not art. Okay. ఇప్పుడు కళ అంటే ఇప్పుడు కొంతమందికి వస్తుంది. ఇదేం కళ ఏం కాదు. దిస్ ఇస్ లైక్ ఎ మజిల్. ఎనీవన్ కెన్ బిల్డ్ ఇట్. ఆల్ యూ హావ్ టు డూ ఇస్ అండర్స్టాండ్ ద బేసిక్స్ and then try basically debugging your code. If you can debug the code, that's it. Every developer's job is 80% debugging. Okay, but unfortunately people remember. If you try to ask me what are the methods that list has, even I will never try to remember. Okay, but since I have tried many programs, there are certain methods which I will come to me easily. I'll remember length. So there should be something like add. There should be something to delete. Okay, any language, if you go, the story is same. Okay, are you clear on this, sir? So if you go into the world of other languages, lists are categorized into two types. A list which can store all the types which are of same type. So that is integer array, string array. Okay, this is something which languages like C, C++, Java, C# will do. Okay, and then you have unordered items of any type. So there is something called as array list in Java నేర్చుకున్న వాళ్ళకి. Okay, but here you will not have all of that complication. Simple. List is sequence. Sequence is allows the duplicates, and it is mutable. You can change values. Okay, so tuple and all of that stuff. Okay, right, sir. And now let me try to show you something interesting now. This is something which is not part of today's class, but from whatever we have learned, we can try to do it. X is equals to, madam, oh, right, y is equals to, so I can try to write y colon -1 అంటే ఏంటి? Last item is, if I just try to write -1, colon -1 is reverse of it. Okay, x colon -1. So if someone tries to tell that I'll give you a string, and can you tell me whether it is palindrome or not? Okay, so all I need to do is, if x is equals to x of colon -1, you are basically trying to compare the string with the reverse of it. It's jete అయిపోయింది. Okay, then print palindrome. So x లో ఏముంది? Madam ఉంది. So why it is trying to tell that it is a palindrome. Now if I try to do the same thing when by passing the different value into x, it might not say that it is a palindrome. Okay, so palindromes are not only for numbers, they are for names also. Okay, తెలుగు సినిమాలు చూసే పని అయితే తెనాలి రామకృష్ణలో వెంకట కవి అని ఉంటుంది. వెంకట కవిని రివర్స్ చేయండి, అదే అవుతుంది. ఓకే, సో there are palindromes everywhere. When you reverse a string, you get the same. That is something which we call as palindrome. And in strings also you can apply all the slicing which you have learned. Okay, so for example, y is equals to quality thought. అనుకుందాం.
అదే నువ్వు 22 వారాలు.
Now I want to print y colon 2. So it starts with q and it leaves the second letter and then it will start printing the alternative sequences. Same thing in a reverse order. Okay, slicing works on strings also. Am I clear on this, sir? So to calculate reverse of a string, do we need any function or do we need just this expression? That's it. Yeah, good. Fine, sir. Good. Let me upload the notes. Okay, and then I'll try to speak about tomorrow's class timings.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Sir, actually, when going through the recording videos, it's always displaying on while watching the video saying that this video is for so and so email ID. Is that going to happen in all the videos? Because that's kind of distracting.
That is no, it is not distracting, sir. It is called as watermark.
Okay.
That is a way how you protect your videos.
Okay. I understand that, sir. But so it's going to be in all the videos.
All the videos. Yes.
Okay.
Kindly bear with it, sir, because let me tell you what is the reason of displaying that watermark on your screens. Earlier, what happened was when we used to give videos, we didn't have any quality thought video player or something like that. We used to give it to students. I knew that some of the students will pass to their friends. I was okay with that because they're also learning. It's okay. What has happened is there were new business models which were created with that. People used to download those videos and sell all of them on Facebook. DevOps videos of Khaja from Quality Thought at 500 rupees only. Okay. Yeah, and they have started selling that. Till that point, I was not aware, but still that was okay. Those guys who have bought their 500 videos, they started calling me. Okay. So that is some kind of I didn't want it to lose our asset. So yeah, student passing to other student, I was okay with that. That's the reason I have only written that Quality Thought video player, and it has taken me 1 day to write it. So where everything is blocked. So kindly bear with that. That is something which is for protecting our information. That's it. And yeah, that's the only reason, sir. There is no other reason. It's not to trouble you. It's basically you have legally you can watch the videos for your lifetime. Yeah. So that's it. That was a background story around it. So, and I have implemented in .NET, and later on some of the people from Mac are asking it. I never found a time to basically replace that in other language because the .NET doesn't natively work on Mac. Yeah. So to recreate that, it is taking time. That is a whole background story around it, sir.
Okay, sir. I understand. Thank you.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So tomorrow class timings. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Okay. So for the people who are from South India, when any big stars movies release, what would happen? What will be the movie that will be playing in all of your village? When Kalki released, all of Vijayawada only Kalki, no other cinema. Right? మన పరిస్థితి కూడా ఈ 2 వారాలు అంతే, ఎందుకంటే పెద్ద యాక్టర్ సినిమా రిలీజ్ అయింది. సో మార్నింగ్ ఆల్సో పైథన్, ఈవినింగ్ ఆల్సో పైథన్. సో ఫర్ 12 hours we are going to have only Python, no other classes. Okay. So our class timings are, this is for all of my students. There are some of the students who have joined here from GCP. Okay. There are some of the students who are from multi-cloud. Some of the students who are from AWS. అందరికీ ఇదే షో, ఎందుకంటే మీరు నేర్చుకున్న అన్నిటికన్నా ఇది పెద్ద సినిమా, పెద్ద యాక్టర్ సినిమా రిలీజ్ అయింది. సో మన గౌరవంగా తప్పుకోవటమే బెటర్, రైట్? సో Saturday and Sunday, okay, 7 to 10 and 7 to 10 a.m. IST and 6 to 9 p.m. IST. Okay. Sunday also same stuff. But what we will try to do is we will not learn all of them. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I urge all of you to have your systems with you. because we will be having some practical stuff also. Okay, so let us solve some Python together. Yeah, so are we clear on this, sir? So 4 షోలు ఇదే. Yeah, okay sir, fine then. Thank you all. Yeah, notes is also uploaded.